Hello everybody, hope you're doing really well. So today we're going to find out the history or the origin of the oil can guitar, which is similar to this, although slightly different, but I thought I'd bring this one out. I've owned this guitar for coming up to about 2.5 years, almost 3 years now. It's not the newest one in my guitar collection, but it's fairly new. And I'm going to tell you all about how I got to buy this guitar. But more importantly, you're going to get to see the origin of where oil can guitars actually came from. So I will see you on the other side. Take care and find out. Come on, let's go find out the history of it. See you in a minute. Bye. The oil can guitar is an unusual design of guitar, and although it gets a lot of strange looks from people who have never seen one before, trust me, I know from many an open mic night, the style of guitar is slowly becoming more popular. So where do its origins lie? Well, the most common name for the oil can guitar is known as the Ramkie, also known as the afri-can. It is a type of guitar usually made in South Africa, Botswana, Zambia, Namibia or Malawi. It is made using a discarded oil can or similar for the sound box. It has 3 or 4 strings, rarely 6 like a guitar, and is made of fishing wire or bicycle brake wire and may be fretted or fretless. The instrument has apparently always been used for repetitive chord playing and not melodic patterns. The instrument is recorded as early as 1730 among the Kokoli people in the Cape, although its early history is unclear. Such early Ramkies had a gourd for its body. It was later adapted by the San and Bantu speakers, and the gourd body replaced by wood or a tin can. The commercial aspect, and in terms of the guitar you're seeing me play, came from a company called Bohemian Guitars. This is where the company's founders, Adam and Sean Lee, lived in South Africa and were inspired by local township residents who repurposed used materials in playable instruments. But they were particularly inspired by the sound of the oil can guitar. So when they came back to America, they started to build their own out of oil cans and other recycled materials. But if anything though, the oil can guitar is a symbol of when a passion for music and resourcefulness collide, amazing and wonderful sounds can be created, providing much happiness and entertainment for all. Welcome back. So, hopefully you found that really interesting. I know I was really invested in finding a lot of history about the oil can guitar in particular, because it was one of these ones that I remember when I first bought this guitar, that the moment I bought it I just wanted to find out more about these types of guitars. And although you'd got people like C6 Steve, for example, and Jack White using similar types of guitars, with tobacco boxes and all this other type of stuff, the actual real origin of the oil can guitar I was really fascinated by, and I learned a lot through it really. And even though you've had a brief synopsis on it, I mean, the main thing that I came about from thinking was the resourcefulness of people. The fact that they literally just picked up objects and literally just strung up some bits using bicycle, all this sort of stuff, and fishing wire and all this to just try and make some sounds. And it just really was like, wow, okay, like this is crazy. And then they'd be sort of doing it in a street musician sort of sense. So you can imagine it was just an incredible sort of thing to sort of find out about. And I don't mean that in a sort of naive sense. I mean, I was fully aware of sort of like these unusual types of guitars before. I mean, even before C6 Steve and all that lot. I mean, but it was just this nice thing to actually really sort of go in depth into and go, wow, okay, right, and it's really interesting. So, as you can tell, another t-shirt for today, running theme of every other history music one I've got. So I'm wearing my Jimi Hendrix one today. And it's the first time that we're going to be doing an electric guitar, because all the rest of them, as you've probably known, are folk instrument guitars. So this is the proper first electric guitar one. So where did I get this guitar? How did it all spring about? Right, it's quite a sad story actually. I sort of think about looking back on it. sad for me, as in, oh my god, you're so sad. Not like don't feel sorry for me sad, like just really sad. I as you probably may be aware of, there are a couple of places in the southeast especially that I am really fond of. One happens to be, oh actually I'll just show you it, Rye in, will that focus? Rye, there we go, in East Sussex. And another place is Farnham in Surrey. And I love Farnham in Surrey, love it to bits. It's just, there's something about that place that I just love. It's, you know, you have to obviously be there to sort of be there. But this is where I get like people from Farnham say, no, it's totally rubbish here, but I like it. So I go there at least once a year. I'm not a regular person to Farnham because I go to Rye more basically if I want to just sort of escape. They're what I would call my two escape towns. So Rye in East Sussex and Farnham in Surrey are my two sort of, just want to get away for a little bit and just escape. Although I'm starting to find that maybe Uckfield as well in East Sussex is quite an unusual place to escape to. Again, people are going to be like, what? But that's not the point of the story. I digress yet again. So about 2 and a bit years ago, it was coming up to my birthday and I was singing a bit low and I thought, okay, right, what's the best way to sort of cheer myself up, apart from obviously doing historical exploration, which you will well know. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go into the Guitar Village in Farnham. Now, for those who aren't aware of the Guitar Village in Farnham, it is the greatest guitar store that I've ever been into, ever. And if you don't know my background in music, I've been a professional musician, or was a professional musician up until about three bit years ago, literally doing lots and lots of musical stuff. And so I've been in lots and lots of musical stores and everything else. But Farnham, the Guitar Village, has always been a special place to me. It was a place that I went to when I was a kid, and it was the first guitar store that I went into as a kid with my dad and my mum, I think it was as well. And I was just like, wow, they've got all these vintage guitars there. It's in this old Tudor building, which is even more crazy. So you're sort of walking into it, you have to duck, everything's uneven. And you've just got these rows of these old amazing guitars. You know, you've got this old section there, you've got this new section. It's just the best guitar store. No offence to any other guitar stores, but for me, it's the best one for sentimental reasons. And so I went in there, my once a yearly going into trip to Farnham, and the first thing I saw was these Bohemian guitars, which I've spoken about, and it was crazy. I was like, wow, this is like an oil can guitar. I need to try one. And I saw the price and I was like, wow, they're not out of my price range. Even though I never wanted to actually buy a guitar in the first place. I've got plenty, as you probably will find out. And yeah, I asked them kindly, please can I try? And yes, and I got it, and it was like, okay, cool. I mean, I've got to confess, for my style of playing, this is not the guitar. I mean, you know, it's just not, but it sounds incredible for certain things that I used to play, if that makes sense. Now, most people when they sort of, so if I show you it first, so this is what this literally is a tin can. It's an oil can, sorry. And they've got various different models. You know, it literally is what it is. You can actually unscrew that. Crazy. And this is actually, does say Bohemian on it. There you go. Well, it might be backwards. And yeah, I was just like, wow, okay, this is a guitar for me that is probably more built for purpose for what I kind of want to try and do something a little bit different with musically. Probably said that right. It comes with a nice case, as you can sort of see in the background. And that was it. It was a weird guitar. Normally, for me, I go for certain sort of guitars, you know, and it's normally not necessarily how they look. I'm one of those sort of I mean, I know a lot of people normally go for guitars because of the way they look, which is fine, but, you know, there's got to be more to it. You got to play it. And this guitar is probably one of these guitars that I can play, but it's definitely not my sort of go-to guitar, because it's just got this unique sound to it that just has certain functionalities that are fantastic, but they don't cover all the bases that I would normally need as a jack of all trades guitar, if that makes sense. And I love it because of that, because it is this sort of individual guitar. It's an alternative guitar. You know, it is literally a break from the norm. There's a couple of really good things that I love, sounds that I love, and that's it. And I'll use it for those types of occasions. Now, before you say anything, what am I running this through for all you geeky people out there? I've got a micro terror, as you can see in the background. Try and do this in reverse. I've got a micro terror, which isn't being fed through the mini amp. It's being fed through the cab, which is a Marshall. And you see that it's a Marshall, trust me. And so that's what I'm feeding this through. I love that orange micro terror. It's amazing. I think a lot of people would probably agree. It's just got an amazing sound to it. Perfect for this guitar. That literally, if you wanted a marriage of two sort of amp and guitar, I think personally for me, the micro terror for this is probably the perfect thing, because it's just got that, for me, it needs that rough and ready sound, that really gritty, dirty sound. And that's me. That's my opinion. That's what I think this suits for me. I don't play it on a clean sound at all. Sometimes I'll use like a slide. Sometimes I will use the slide, but it's not sometimes. So, I bought the guitar for my birthday. It's my own birthday present, which makes it quite sad. Oh my God, you bought yourself your own birthday present. And that's pretty much it. And then, ever since then, on the occasions I've been using it for certain styles. There's lots of different variations of this guitar. You can obviously build your own. I didn't want to do that. I'm not technically minded in any sense with anything, full stop. So for me, it was just a sort of strange thing to sort of do. But the sound, for me, by the way, this is just for me. I do like that bluesy, gritty sort of sound. So. Yeah, it's got like so for me it's kind of I don't really, it's more a chordal sound for me that I would normally use this for. Nothing too fiddly, you know. So it's just got that sort of really dirty sound that I love. And that's pretty much it, really. I mean, look, this is in, so this is in drop D. Yeah, you get the idea. Which is jamming. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's amazing to think of really the highlight of what this guitar represents, as I sort of said probably in history, which is that it's all about resourcefulness. The idea that you can pretty much make and create anything, and amazing sounds will come from that. For me, like I said, this is a guitar that's only built for a couple of things, for me to sort of do some dirty sort of sounds on. It's not a clean guitar for me personally. I don't really change the settings on it. It's normally just kept on one setting for me, and that's pretty much it. It's, you know, I don't really sort of do anything sort of heavy on it. I don't really do anything too melodic on it. It's literally just for a scrap. If I, you know, it's perfect guitar for me for jamming. If I want to jam some ideas out. Sometimes I'll use like the dadgad tuning on this because it sort of creates that really filler sort of dirty rough sound. But at the moment, like I said, it's in drop D. I don't think I've really changed the strings much on it for a while, but that's my relationship with this guitar anyway. And like I said, you know, I don't... It's the one guitar out of the whole of my collection where I will literally just be scrappy do on it. I will not... I don't really care. I don't sort of do like I don't really sort of do any sort of fancy stuff on it, you know. Only because the neck for me is quite fat, like I said, you know. just don't really do fiddly stuff on it. You know, it's not that type of guitar. Sorry. There you go. The oil can guitar. I've just played you a few bits. Again, I apologise. This isn't meant to be a sort of planned jam that I have. So obviously there are mistakes in it. I will at some point carry on with the history of, and maybe do some of my actual proper electric guitars. Maybe give you some stories into those. But for now, hopefully you enjoyed that. Again, I apologise for the quality of it. If you want to, you can get in contact with me via my email address if you want at the moment. The email is in the about section. Feel free to spread the video, spread the love, be kind, everybody. I'll see you all very soon. Thank you for now. And yeah, hopefully you liked it. It was just something a little bit different again, wasn't it? So, the oil can guitar. There you go. Stay tuned, and hopefully I'll see you wonderful people out there soon.